every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
New year, new you. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th, but if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: partly sunny skies this morning, then a chance of snow this afternoon. It'll be breezy too with the high near 38. Tonight, mainly cloudy and breezy with the low around 21. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return. The high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Let me introduce y'all to my canes. We got chicken fingers. They hit the spot, baby. Fries are golden crispy, Texas toast crunchy, and they cane sauce creamy rich. One love.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in, Dylan Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos as always. We got the host of the morning, Pierson-El, streaming in. You guys can join in Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961. All great ways to do so. 402-464-5685. You guys can also text in. And we got plenty of things to talk about. I want to quick clear the table, talk about a little bit Husker hoops. But we do have postseason football going on right now. Penn State and Notre Dame. We got postseason football tomorrow on Friday. We got more postseason football on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we got more postseason football. And then on Monday, we got the championship in college football. So we got an awesome stretch of days here. It's all postseason football all the way up through Monday. We're going to talk a lot about that as it is Thursday, last day of the week that me and the morning Pierson-El will do a show together. So real quick, though, let's give our props. Husker women basketball, they upset number 20 Michigan State. Markowski pops off for 28 points. And the men's team has an opportunity to do the same. I believe, let me double check here. I think they got their game on Sunday as well. It's an early game, 11 a.m., but they got a chance to upset number 20 Purdue on the road. Big opportunity there. Real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on it. How do you feel about Husker men's team going out to Purdue? It's a tough gym to play in. Kind of every Big Ten team is. That place in particular has a really good home record. How do you like their odds pulling off the upset?
I feel pretty good. I mean, you just knocked off, a better team at home and everything like that. So you're capable of doing things. They kind of look like they played in their competition a little bit with the Iowa loss. So now that you're playing a better team, I expect, I expect, a heavier shot at Purdue. So I definitely think that they can get that game.
Yeah, it's one where you really didn't lose too much with that Iowa loss, although it hurts. It hurts more so because it's a rival, not necessarily because your season's over. So this is a great game. Like, bounce back. You beat Purdue. You're still currently in most people's radar when they're doing the bracketology. You're probably flirting around 11-10, but you're still in there. If you would have won that game, realistically, you maybe would have been flirting with like 6-7. It wouldn't have moved you up too much. It wouldn't have shaken you down too much. And in fact, that's what happened. Just didn't really move them down too much. On the flip side, though, real quick, just since you mentioned UCLA, they're on a little bit of a skid there. After their loss to us, you heard their head coach kind of call out some of his guys. They got blown out by Michigan, good ranked opponent, 24 ranked Michigan, 94-75. The thing that's interesting about UCLA, and I kind of want your thoughts on it. How do you feel about the head coach kind of going old school? He's calling out his players a few games in a row now, not just, mentioning where you have to kind of put the puzzle pieces together. I mean, it's right at the podium, calling guys out.
I think that's a good thing. I mean, he's not necessarily, putting people down, but you being realistic. Kids are getting paid. You got to take the softness out. I like the old school and calling a spade what it is.
Yeah, and I'm apologies. I'm trying to find the audio. I believe Austin Orman, shout out to him, had the Mick Cronin audio. Okay, yeah, perfect. He actually does still have the audio up here. So just to give you some insight here on Mick Cronin's comments, since we already brought up UCLA, here's him calling his players soft.
But we don't play. We're soft. So don't tell me you want to win. Like, just don't tell me you want to win. So don't tell me you want to win. It's crazy, and it's every day. I'm tired of it. It's every day. I have the most energy of anybody at practice every day. I'm upset with everybody in that locker room, my assistant coaches and my players. I mean, I don't need to do anything else. I almost got 500 wins. I'm only 53. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. But yet I come in and I have more passion and energy and pride than everybody in. That's the problem. So what the truth of it is, Ben, it's really hard to coach people that are delusional. The hungry dog gets the bone. We got guys that think they're way better than they are. They're nice kids. They're completely delusional about who they are.
So there it is. He's not mincing words.
I think Coach. I think Coach Wooten would understand that. A blast from the past. I don't mind stuff like that. You got to hold people accountable. You got to, you can't soften the blow. You can't beat around the bush. A lot of some of these, coaches or universities are afraid of people, hopping in the transfer portal and leaving and everything like that. it seems like he doesn't matter. He's going to get the right people in there to, move forward and whatnot. But I mean, I love what he's saying because, outside of the sports world, the world is not, it's not easy. It's not, friendly at times and everything like that. You got to be realistic. And that's a good example of him being harsh. Sometimes it's tough love and you got to do it. So I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's too harsh. He being real and call a spade and what it is. And hopefully, some kids see that and step up and to the challenge and, change some things.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I really like, even if, it'd be unfortunate, but if, Fred Hoiberg came out after an embarrassing loss and he said stuff like that, I wouldn't be upset with Fred Hoiberg. If, especially considering, I do believe Fred Hoiberg's a good coach, and the way he's got this program going, his history tells us that he knows what he's doing. So it is kind of your job to listen and execute. And again, like UCLA, they are good enough. And that is a couple of games in a row now where just really inefficient and it's been sloppy. If you saw that Nebraska game, it wasn't that we were good in that game, but UCLA certainly was not looking very sharp. First time in the vault, that definitely didn't help. And they also had some young guys who had to step up. So he called him out after that. Wasn't nearly as harsh, but the Michigan game, that one really got him going because you got boat raced in that one. And it was at home. And I don't know. What do you think the trajectory of UCLA Bruins goes now? Because they're still in the running. I mean, it's not like they're out of bracketology. There's still plenty.
I mean, it's still open, but you have to respond it and not be, not don't listen to the tone of the message. Listen to the message, in those type of situations. And I'm very familiar with a coach that's like that. And honestly, that was very, very mild. My receiver coach, in college would come at us crazy. And I'm talking about it was times, where it was like a whole week, the whole wide receiver room wouldn't talk to Dub, but it got us to play better and everything like that. So hopefully they respond in the right way and change their attitude to where, I'll show you kind of how great I am, or I'll show you, oh, you think I'm soft, or, oh, a lot of kids, a lot of people wouldn't take that, kindly. It leaves a little bit of bitter taste in their mouth and kind of light a fire. But as a coach, as a motivator, that's your job to get your athletes, ready, regardless of, sometimes you gotta, go, you gotta take a tougher jab at them to kind of get them where you need to at. So I don't think they're just gonna fall off and everything like that. It's a long season. They travel. They're a West Coast team coming to a lot of Big Ten schools. It's different. It's cold. So it's a lot of tangibles that's in there. But I mean, I still expect them to be probably finish somewhere in the top 25 at the end of the season, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure where they'll end up. If they don't figure it out, they'll probably kind of
on the verge of it
somewhere. Yeah, 8 seed to anywhere all the way to the last 4 in. If they don't kind of figure things out here, they just haven't looked super impressive as of late. And again, I do think that schedule of the Big Ten, what it is now for them, that's a lot of ball. And I don't care what you say, the Big Ten, it's good basketball. I understand it's not Alabama, it's not Auburn this year, it's not the SEC powerhouses they're used to, but it's consistently good enough that you're going to cough up some losses there, and especially when you got to play on the road. Very, very difficult conference to win road games in. All right, that's all I got for hoops here. We do got the flu game going on right now. There was reports the Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, who were the narrative's been a little bit weird because people were saying that Penn State was heavily favored, but then there was a bunch of flu going on in the Fighting Irish locker room. So now they're saying, okay, Penn State should really be able to dominate this one. But the spread was always 1.5 before any of this flu stuff even occurred. And looking at it right now, it's still 0-0 with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Who do you got in this one, and how much are you reading into the?
I would like Penn State to win. Of course, Big Ten bring another, hopefully another national championship to the Big Ten. That'll only boost our conference and for things to come. It's still early. I think Penn State just got the ball back for the second time. I feel like it takes them 3-4 drives to settle in. I think Notre Dame pulls it out, but I want Penn State to win.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. I'm looking for an all Big Ten conference championship.
Yeah.
Because you know who gets part of that money? This is the Big Ten teams. So we'll take that. Notre Dame, if they make it, they have done something incredible by not joining a conference. And it really hasn't bitten them at all. If they make it to the championship, and say, even if they win it, they take all of that money. They don't have to share the wealth with anybody, which is kind of crazy. I've always been very critical of Notre Dame. We're at a point where I'm almost starting to respect them more and more, because as time goes on and the way college football is changing, it's benefiting them more as opposed to hurting them. Looking at this one, I do think Penn State's probably going to pull it off. How much does the flu thing really change your opinion on this? It is most of the secondaries on the report is what they're saying, not the starters.
I've played sick before, and one or two things happen. Either you're really too sick to like not play, or like it could be one of the best games of your life type situations. I mean, that's just what it is. Either you're a non-factor, or you're so sick and you don't want to get touched, or you don't want something to happen. So your body's in overtime. So it's going to be one of the two things happen. I think that coach has their guys not making excuses at all. They're not going to rely on that. It is what it is. If they do lose, it just wasn't their day. I mean, that's for the media to eat up and decide and whatnot. But I mean, people have been hurt. People have been sick. People have lost their positions. People have been playing bad all throughout, some of these teams and everything like that. And yet, people are still persevered and got to certain points. So, that small things to a giant. I'm not paying attention to that narrative at all.
Yeah, and to me, it's like it's not really one you can look into until the game's said and done. Then you kind of pick it apart, and you might be able to identify some of the guys out there. You're like, man, he did not look right today. And then you might find out in the press conference that he was one of the guys who maybe wasn't feeling super great. It could be one of those things, like if Notre Dame wins, or excuse me, if Penn State wins, it could really suck that if they walk in to the national championship game on Monday and then they're all sick and they catch it from Notre Dame and then they got to deal with it. But right now it's still 0-0. Looking at it for Riley Leonard, quarterback for Notre Dame, 2 for 6, 38 yards, 1 pick already on the day. Meanwhile, Drew Aller, 3 for 8, 42 yards. Who do you got in the quarterback matchup today?
Penn State quarterback.
Yeah, I like
the only thing that makes me nervous is just what Penn State is just you don't know exactly what their offense is going to do. If their offense was more consistent and more explosive, or some guys on their outside of the tight end, make some plays, which I think number 3 does from time to time. They're two-headed running backs. They make plays. You got a nice tight end.
Warren is an absolute animal for them.
They get going. They get started late, and that may be just their game. That old Wisconsin style, just lean on you, and late in the third quarter, fourth quarter, it pops. It's very bland. It just we'll see how we'll see how things go. It could be beneficial for them to eat up the clock and to keep Notre Dame's offense off the field. But I just don't see Penn State's offense is really explosive. But I do like their quarterback better than Notre Dame's. Yeah.
When Penn State's interesting.
He's good.
What's the ceiling on Drew Aller though? Because there are times where I watch him and I'm not super impressed, and there's other times I watch him and I'm like, he is incredibly, when he's on, one of the most accurate guys in college football. Like he can throw that thing on an absolute dot. One of the best spirals in college football.
I mean, I definitely think a high day 2 pick probably. Depending on when he comes out, who else comes out in his class and everything like that. To each his own. If you get him with a right, offensive coordinator to get in there and kind of shape him, the sky's the limit. But he has definitely, a lot of tangibles. He has more good games than not. It's just one like I don't think he has good pieces. I don't think he has great pieces around him or very explosive pieces around him. If we've looked over the years at some of these Penn State teams, they've had, legit wide receivers year in and year out. They've had solid quarterback play year in and year out. Running backs have dipped down a little bit, but they typically take care of business. But it's just not an explosive offense. It's not as exciting as it was when Trace McSorley and Saquon Barkley and all of those guys were really there, where you really had to pay attention. And I'm not saying you have to be exactly like that, but there's no bits and pieces of that shown enough to where it keeps you engaged.
Yeah, and part of that too is just like that's the whole James Franklin, philosophy is they do play a pretty conservative style of football, and like even with the Saquon Barkley era, like they were still pretty conservative play calling, but they were getting explosive plays because that's just how good the roster was.
Yeah.
This year, it's kind of like this. It's James Franklin is just James Franklin and always will be till the end of time. Like he just, that program doesn't change much. It's a really good program though. Maybe he doesn't have to change. And if he wins it this year, he'll prove himself right. Like, yeah, I did right by never changing and always losing to Ohio State or Michigan, pick one. But I did enough to make it to the playoffs and win a national championship game. And I got to avoid Michigan, maybe get to avoid Ohio State as well if they end up facing Texas. But first, they got to win this game. Yeah, for him, I think he got the best offensive line.
That was a bad throw.
But you did, yeah, it's conservative play calling. So I don't know. That's where I'm at on Drew Aller. I'm not sure what the ceiling is for him entirely. Before we get to Ohio State, Texas, though, while the game is still 0-0, let's talk about Carson Beck, another quarterback, not going to the NFL draft anymore. Pulling his name out. Back to college football. Hit the portal.
Look out, Oregon. Look out, Oregon. I mean, honestly, it's probably smart with coming back from an injury. People don't know. Your draft stock, might go down and everything like that. So it's another year to prove, what you can do. I'm a bit shocked that he's leaving Georgia, though. I don't understand that one. Does Georgia have somebody coming in?
They must. That's
are they over him?
I think it's that part.
I don't know what it is, but the one place where you've been at, y'all have won a lot. You got a I believe you have a national championship there. I think he was a freshman or so when they won it a few years back. So that's a bit of a head scratcher that you're not, coming back to Georgia. But be on the lookout for Oregon snatching, another veteran quarterback. I mean that's been their MO.
Yeah, it seems like Oregon, and you know who has a lot of money that can go ahead and get that money put together? Oregon. Like Nike is their best friend. It's pretty much an unlimited funnel of money for them. Whenever they need a big time athlete, if it's a quarterback in particular, like there's going to be people that can get the money. You're hearing numbers. I don't know how real any of this is, but I'm hearing numbers like $2 million. That seems like crazy. I don't know if anybody's seriously be paying a guy $2 million for 1 year, but he probably is close to $1 million, which is just insane.
Again, Oregon, two similar situations. You had a first rounder with Bo Nix. We'll see where Gabriel ends up, but I mean, he takes you to a Big Ten championship 1 year in the offense. You go to the second round of playoffs. Like, I mean, you're right there. They're not gonna care about money because it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if we keep getting an older veteran, more callous quarterback to step in this situation and put pieces around him, we're going to be able to compete for a long period of time.
Yeah, it seems like the favorite. There's other teams out there. Ohio State, maybe. Would they be interested? Because obviously Howard, he's going to be gone for him. He transferred from Kansas State to Ohio State. This will be his last year, so he's up and out of there. Not sure what they have behind, but Ohio State, that's going to be another school with enough money. I'm still surprised that he is leaving Georgia, though. I don't know if that's
that's when I seen he's coming back, but I seen leaving Georgia, I'm like, what happened?
You think that's one where Kirby Smart, like once he declared for the draft, Smart already was like moving on to the next guy, and it got to the point where he's like, I've kind of already made up my mind, like this is the direction.
But he's got you wins and everything like that. Like you're gonna go off of what you know. just because you got a freshman coming in, or or is it just the guy that the second string guy, he stepped up and they want to make things around him, which he didn't play bad. He wasn't the reason why they lost.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you still look completely different with Carson in there. So, and I'm pretty sure at some point in time we'll get that. But that was the one that really made me head scratch. I was more confused at that than him actually coming back.
Yeah, because you are right. Like, for him to come back, and it makes sense for him.
Yeah.
I think he'll only improve his draft stock.
Yeah.
Not like a fan of it. I am kind of. It's not the player's fault. Like, I don't blame any player for doing it, but I do hate the era of college football we're in now, where it's like there's way too many 18-year-olds playing against 25, 26-year-olds.
I wish they would have gave me a year back.
Well, yeah, you would be killing kids out there.
I wish. I mean, they handing out extra years like it's Halloween candy.
We didn't even talk about the JUCO rule that got passed. You go JUCO 2 years, you still got 4 years.
You got all 4 years. My goodness.
It's crazy. And you could even do my freshman year at the university really sucked. Let me go JUCO, tune up for a couple years. Then I'll show up for my sophomore year, which is actually my 4th year, and ball out, and then just go from there. Like, if I'm a student athlete and I'm kind of like, I'm good enough to go Power 5 or Power 4, but I'm not quite good enough to start, I'm just going to go ball at JUCO, get my numbers, and then have 4 years of eligibility to make it or break it. Like, you just give yourself a ton of extra time to go ahead and try to make it to the draft. It's just bizarre. So maybe we'll talk about that, but we got plenty of other things to talk about. We got to throw it to break. We'll talk about Texas, Ohio State next. Those guys play tomorrow, and then we'll also talk about some NFL playoff games as well. And don't go anywhere. Like I said, second segment coming up. You got Notre Dame, Penn State. Looks like the second quarter's just starting up here. Penn State's ball, but the score is still 0-0. We'll throw it to break. Talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: partly sunny skies this morning, then a chance of snow this afternoon. It'll be breezy too, with the high near 38. Tonight, mainly cloudy and breezy, with the low around 21. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies return, the high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one. all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
Wait, pause. I need to know, how many games is this again?
100.
100.
100. And even 100.
And Sip. Yeah, bro. Shut up, Sipple. You can't be saying, listen, you know where I go. What's my spot? They tell me down there they watch the show and they watch Sip, and they told me to tell Sip, stop saying 100. He don't say it like we say it. You say it again how you say it.
100?
100. He says 100.
What's that mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment, Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns on the show for this hour for you. All right, we still got Penn State versus Notre Dame. Looks like they took the lead as well, 3-0. But tomorrow we do have Texas and Ohio State. You said you wanted Penn State in this one, if you had to pick, right?
I said I wanted Penn State to win, but I think Notre Dame is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you as well. I just want the All Big Ten Conference Championship and the National Championship. But on the other side, Texas, Ohio State. Who do you got as they play tomorrow?
Ohio State.
Is it close? I think that's the real question. Because I think everybody that's outside of the state of Texas is picking Ohio State in that one.
I think it'll be close if somehow Ohio State's offense slows down from the last two times we've seen them. But I think if they're on the same rampage that they're on, I don't think it'll be close.
What changed for Ohio State that's allowed them to just be on this
rampage? They start getting their players they start getting their athletes and their players with the ball in their hands, whether that's through the air or on the ground.
Yeah, simple.
and their defense actually, started stepping up and actually putting multiple stops against people.
Yeah, that and definitely. I just think too that run game's gotten a lot better since
way
last
better, way better.
And that is what's allowed Will Howard, because we saw in that game versus Nebraska, the deep shots there. Will Howard's got a cannon, And if he sees that his guy's got a step, it's gone. He's not waiting for it.
Take off.
He's got a beautiful touch on that ball. And now that they have that run game going, just churning along with it, you really do got the defense just scratching their heads. Like, I don't know what we should be worried about right now, but I know we're not worried about the right thing. Like, the offense has been explosive. So I got Ohio State as well. Sarkisian, Ryan Day, who's got the coaching edge in that one?
Sarkisian.
Yeah, I'm not sure by how much.
It's for me, it's not Ryan Day that is the equalizer that is all above. That's the offensive coordinator. That's not Ryan Day. That's not
the rest of the staff that Ryan Day.
That's not Ryan Day necessarily doing that. That's Chip Kelly doing that. For Texas, it's Shark, and people know that he's going to get him in the right place at the right time and whatnot. Just hopefully the quarterback doesn't stall. That's the only thing with Texas. It's not Shark at all. Shark has called excellent games. Now it's just execution on whether Quinn Ewers either executes or stumbles or stalls on that situation.
Is this the Arch Manning game? This is one where if Ohio State
if it gets ugly enough or enough to where it's starting to get out of hand, I think so.
And you know what sucks is I think he might be good enough to pull it off if it does get to that. That kid's different. He is going to be phenomenal as long as he stays healthy and in the early assessment thus far. So that's why I keep throwing it out there, because I do know if you are Sarkisian, you got him there. And I'd imagine there's been a few times he's thought about it. But obviously when you have Ewers out there, he's not playing bad to the point.
He's not playing bad.
Yeah. He doesn't deserve to get ripped out. But the potential with Manning is there. And there's times where you wonder, is he the better quarterback because of what he can do with his legs? And again, Ewers can do all those things too. It's just Manning's different. I don't know how good he's going to be, but I do think it's going to be an upgrade from Ewers next year. Don't know if it's going to be like that if he gets thrown into the game versus Ohio State, just because that situation is just a pressure-loaded situation. But next year, yeah, he's
it's his show.
Texas next year is going to be a problem, just altogether. Like that team. Good luck, SEC. I actually do think they grabbed a damn good team in Texas, because Texas really found their groove at the right time.
Yeah,
because now that they're in the SEC, like it'd be
they're gonna start keeping a lot of those in-state talents that are coming here, that was going to A&M, that was going to LSU, Florida, or Bama or Georgia, because the SEC. Mm-hmm. So I mean, NIL is not a problem. Texas all year round is not a problem. You right there. The campus is literally 2 blocks away from their strip, 6th Street. So I mean, and Texas football is crazy in itself. If you play for the Longhorns in that state, you got probably a free meal all across the state.
Yeah, and you don't even have to say you play for the Texas Longhorns. They'll call you out. They're like, oh yeah, I remember you're the 4th-string long snapper. Waffles on me. I got you. Like it's different. It kills me to say it, but that is one thing about Texas. Like the football down there means a lot, and they've caught their groove. And it seems like they're actually going to flourish in the SEC, not kind of. I don't want to say it. Flame out. They're already kind of struggling, but it is good for them to find this, because the recruiting battles. You're right. It's going to help a lot. They're going to be able to poach a lot of the kids that they used to be losing from Texas A&M, LSU, a lot of those SEC schools. And I think it's just going to get better and better as the years go, especially with Manning. Yeah, good luck. He's gonna have some pull in the portal as well. That's one thing I've noticed through all of this. Who you have at quarterback
matters.
Yeah, because that depends on who's going to actually care about going to your school out of the portal. Like if you're Dion, you absolutely miserably fail if you do not have Shedeur Sanders, because even if you're Dion, you have all the blame on it, but they're like, I need a quarterback that I know is good. Otherwise, I'm not going out there. Like, I need stats for everything that you're promising me. You get a quarterback, all of a sudden you're pulling 5-star wide receivers, offensive linemen are even interested in going to play for you, kind of understanding it's going to be a good opportunity for them to get some eyes on him. I think that's kind of part of why you get Elijah Pritchett as well. Like, he's kind of sees what Nebraska has cooking. He sees the pieces. Dylan Raiola, he's getting a lot of pull. Like, I don't think we get these 4-star and former 5-star transfers if we don't have Dylan Raiola at quarterback. Or am I reading too much into it?
No, I wouldn't say you're I don't think you're not reading too much into it. I think that definitely matters because, again, I mean, exposure to big games, exposure to big scouts. You know, your tape is going to be on there. Scouts' job are to identify players that play. So if you're on that line and doing your job and everything like that, hey, let's take a look at this guy. I know, you know, we got these, whatever. But, you know, he's been popping up on tape. You know, let's get more on him. That's all you want, you know, and then the other luxurious things that come with it, you know, if you're on a team with a high-profile quarterback, the gifts that, you know, that different quarterbacks get and everything like that. I remember C.J. Stroud was at Ohio State. Everybody got suits, you know, or at least 2 custom-made suits. You know what I'm saying? So if it's that, if it's jewelry, if it's cars, you know, with NIL and money in there and everything like that, like there's no telling what's off limits.
It might even be better because Baker Mayfield in the NFL was only able to get some cookies and milk together for his offensive lineman. So these college kids are getting Lambos and trucks, and man, it's unreal. You know, it's not something you think of, but it is something that if you're a college kid, you might think about it. Like, what am I going to get for my quarterback for Christmas this year?
I mean, I wouldn't say that's a defining factor.
No,
that's small things, but definitely, okay, we're going to have eyes on us. Regardless the whole season, whether we were winning or losing, I guarantee you, college football was talking about Nebraska week in and week out. I don't care if it was for a split second. If it was taking the shots weren't as, you know, big blows and everything like that. And we got a lot more compliments and everything like that. So, you know, it gets you things where you have, you know, a good quarterback that can bring in, you know, the public eye that a lot of people want to see how he operates and whatnot.
Yeah. And I do think the thing that probably pulls the most, like if you're a wide receiver, like obviously the thing that is going to pull you is like, can he throw, and can he throw it accurately? How much do they throw? Like for guys like the offensive line, though, I think that is a major piece. Like, how many eyes are going to be on me? Just a result of A, it's Nebraska, and B, there's tons of people who just want to watch Dylan Raiola anyways. Because you hear so many stories, especially working here at the ticket with a lot of the talent around here and some of the student athletes that come in. So many of them are recruited because they came to watch another person.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, man, who's that kid? That kid's incredible. Like, I know I'm watching the quarterback right now, but that left tackle.
We might have found the gym. We might have found a player. Like, let's, you know, and that's it. All you want to do is just get on somebody's radar or get you to one of these, you know, all-star games. And there you go off, because it's going to be the best kids, you know, in the college realm at those games.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking about some of the best kids, Cortez Mills gets some highlights, being noted as one of the star players in that American game that went on there. Thoughts on him? Mills, one of the additions. Nebraska's bringing him in here. Highly touted wide receiver, already kind of making some splashes in the media.
Again, you know, we've lost players. You know, you had to cut, you know, the 105 down and everything, like cut it to 105 and whatnot. So the more people that you can get in here to help round out things and make the job easier and take steps, you know, from what we were last year. We seen Banks come on late, felt like, you know, missed opportunities, you know, with that. Nayor kind of, you know, disappeared and did what he did. Jalen wasn't really being used. You know, Barney was, you know, hit or miss. He was consistent. He was exciting and everything like that, but it wasn't always the type of plays that he would break off and everything like that. So you're getting guys, again, that are veteran players that played in systems and understand, you know, how to get open, how to, you know, run after the ball and everything like that. You're going to make the quarterback's job a lot easier.
Yeah. And I am excited about this. And just for reference, this was make sure I get the name right, the Navy All-American Bowl. And this was day 3 of practice where he stuck out. And every day they notice out some players. They'll list the guys who really stuck out In day 3, it was Cortez Mills was one of those players who stuck out, made the most of his catches is the brief period they're giving him. Apparently he had just some really nice grabs, and then also had a really good day 2 as well. So it's good to see that he's making some waves already, because again, you're not getting invited there unless you're in the top 100 of those junior and senior class, those two put together. So that's elite competition. And if he's sticking out there, that's a good sign of things to come, as he will be a Husker in the near future. Well, he's already committed. So he is a Husker, just not technically on campus. All right, we'll throw it to break. Don't go anywhere. One more segment we'll finally talk about. Let's talk about the NFL. They got playoffs starting up as well. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. Don't go anywhere. We got one more segment.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Let me introduce y'all to my canes. We got chicken fingers. They hit the spot, baby. Fries are golden crispy, Texas toast crunchy, and they cane sauce creamy rich. One love.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovoma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
New year, new you. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th, but if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Old School with DP&J.
It would take a different type of team to recruit Jay Foreman coming out of high school. Because I didn't lift weights. I didn't do any of that. I didn't do camp. So you had to have somebody that had some vision. A lot of these coaches right now, and especially with the 105 and NIL, they don't have to have vision right now. You saw what Deion Sanders says. Look, I'm recruiting 8 to 10 guys out of high school. I expect you to play. If you don't play by your first year or showing that you're going to be able to be a starter or contributor by the second year, you're gone.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
The Adam Carricker Show.
That is what the 12-team playoff does. It makes the end of the regular season more exciting until we realize, hey, the teams that are 10 through 12 are just going to get killed. So getting in doesn't really matter. All that doesn't matter is Oregon-Ohio State regular season. Matchup doesn't matter. Ohio State-Michigan, that rivalry's now been devalued. And to me, that's what I see.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in final segment, Don't Punt Hour. DeMornay Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. I'm at the studio. DeMornay Pierson-El back at the crib watching some Penn State, Notre Dame as that one's taken off. And we also got NFL playoffs taken off. We only got a little bit of time here left. So DeMornay Pierson-El, I'll let you just pick one. Pick any of the playoff games that are going on for the NFL this weekend, and we'll dive into it. Maybe got time for even a couple.
Chargers, Texans.
Okay, let's do this. We'll do who's got the quarterback edge in that one. Actually, kind of close, I think. It's because I'm going to go with Herbert because Stroud hasn't had quite the same year.
I was gonna go Herbert too.
Yeah, but it could be one of those games where Stroud takes the torch and he's like, nah, I'm already better than you. This has been decided. So that one's intriguing. Coaching, he's got the edge there. Jim Harbaugh, year one for him, but he's looking.
I think Harbaugh has it just because he's been in those situations before, not just like as a head coach. You know, he's gotten to a Super Bowl. He's been there. He's first year with the team, and you already see like how he's gotten them to play. So I think that's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I might. I really like Texans head coach though.
I like him too. Don't get me wrong, but I think I would say Jim Harbaugh is more experienced. Would you not say that?
Definitely more experienced, but I don't. D'Amico Ryans kind of has like the Dan Campbell thing going on for him, and maybe Jim Harbaugh has a little bit of that too. The guys seem to really rally around him. Like you never hear players leave any of Jim Harbaugh's programs in like fashion. Like, he apparently treats them all pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and just say wash, just because it is year one of Jim Harbaugh in the NFL, and he's been on the
NFL. You can't say that. Like he's been to a Super Bowl on the NFL. Like, no, I'm not letting that slide.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say wash. I really don't feel good about picking either head coach or the other. All right. D'Amico Ryans, give me him. Jim Harbaugh's a cheater. That's the only way he pins. Next one. I'll throw this one. And I forgot to ask real quick. The final thing. We'll just go quarterback edge, and then the coaching edge, and then defense. Who's got the better defense in this one?
I think Houston.
I think Houston as well. So who's the winner? I'm going with the Texans.
I'm going Chargers.
All right. We'll have to wait and see. This is the game I'm intrigued. Packers, they seem to do it to teams. Teams that are feeling really good about themselves. Packers, Eagles.
Ain't happening. I think the Eagles are going to blow them out the water.
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to tell because that last game, the Bears won. Packers were, I mean, it wasn't the Packers.
Jordan Love is a little bit tougher than tissue paper.
Yeah, that's right. He does have the hand injury, might affect him as well heading into this one. You might be right.
And being in the same room as Vic Fangio, whatever you like to do, Fangio's going to take that away. You're not going to beat him with your best weapon. I know that for a fact. So I'm taking the Eagles, and I don't think it's going to be close.
You've swayed me. Is that the Eagles as well? The Eagles aren't the Cowboys.
No.
I'm
And
thinking-
they got Saquon. Like they look even better than they did when Nick Foles won it with the Super Bowl, and their appearance with Jalen Hurts the first year. They look way better than both two teams.
Yeah, they do. I'm not even going to argue with it. The Nick Foles year that's a bizarre one because when Wentz was the starter, they
were hot. They were hot.
And then Foles came over, and you're like, I'm not sure. But then they got hot in the playoffs. And
time.
beat Tom Brady. It's always crazy to me that who was the one who managed to beat Tom Brady? Nick Foles, the legend himself. Man, yeah, what a crazy run for what happened to him? I know this wasn't where we're going. Where's Nick Foles at now? After that Eagles run,
I thought he went to the Bears, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
it was the Bears, and then he was on the Bears, and then I don't know where he went after
Jacksonville
that.
or something like that, and then he's not, I think he's retired, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he might be retired now. You're right. It was the Bears, and I think it was Jacksonville. But yeah, what a name. He's gonna be one of those quarterbacks that, like, when I'm 60, that I'll be talking about the Nick Foles Super Bowl run. Like that's an incredible one that I think everybody's gonna remember. But you're right. I'm giving the Packers too much credit for beating the Cowboys when the Cowboys just did what the Cowboys do for everybody. So yeah. What am I thinking? Giving the Packers that much credit.
Another interesting game, I think, which might be a chess match. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is just the weather. That's Buffalo and
Broncos.
Yep.
This one's weird.
They
The
both
Broncos just won 38-0 over the Chiefs, but obviously Chiefs.
They both cancel each other out. The Bills have a running back and an established running game. Not to say that the Broncos don't, but their running back necessarily isn't the same. I like Javonte. I think he's an excellent, but a little bit different. The Bills don't have a receiver or a true number one receiver, and the Broncos have Cortland Sutton. So like your offense is kind of equally itself out. So it's kind of weird, and which is why I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a chess match of defenses, and which quarterback is going to be able to prevail.
I think it'll be closer than people actually anticipate, but I think you're right. But I'm going to say the Bills pulled out. I still like the Bills in it, but I think this game's actually going to be close.
I think the Bills will win at least by 10.
Okay. That's, to me, kind of close.
I mean, in January, December, like, the Bills hired fans to clean out the stadium. So we're not about to – they might not be passing as much. The Bills are used to that. The Bills, unless they're playing Kansas City, they typically have a good playoff run. So, and I know Bo Nick has played a lot of football. I know he's been a lot. Playoff football is different, and the NFL is different. Rookie quarterback in the playoffs, not trusting it just yet.
All right, fair enough. I'll throw this one in here to wrap things up, just because I think it's the most stay away from it if you're a bettor. But Commanders at the Buccaneers, Jane Daniels versus Baker Mayfield. Probably two of the favorite personalities as far as QBs go right now. I mean, those guys are well beloved. It's going to be a fun matchup.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I got the Commanders, pulling it out, shocking people. I think they're the hotter team. They're the stronger team. Baker and them, I think their offense was rolling. Their defense isn't the same as it's historically been. And I think, that's going to be the equalizer. I think the hot offense of the Commanders will be too much for the Buccaneers to handle.
I can see it, but I don't like it. Give me Baker Magic. Still can't forgive the Commanders for that Hail Mary. It really hurt us. Put us in absolute spiral.
See, I knew you was a hater. I knew you was a hater. I knew.
Oh, you would be too. Man, they destroyed my soul. Brought my boss out of the portal of fandom. And now I had to deal with
the Bears. That. What do you expect?
Not celebrating on the Hail Mary.
Y'all might be the new Lions now. Like, that's just what it is.
Pause. We're not there. We're not there yet.
You ain't too far from it.
All right. Well, they're done with the season. I don't got to worry about it. I just got to worry about a head coach right now. That's going to wrap it up for us. What's brewing? Gents Brewington up next. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate it as always. We'll do it again on Monday.